What's up, family? I got another quick story for y'all, man. This one about me growing up. When I was growing up, me and the Temptations, David Ruffin, me and his grandson was arch enemies. Shout out to Clifford Ruffin, man. He a real nigga, man. Shout out to Cliff. Crazy motherfucker. Um, he looked just like David Ruffin too, man. What made me just think about telling this story was because David Ruffin. I just watched a documentary on him, good ass documentary. He moved to Detroit when he was 16 and shit. Yup, he had a family. He had a wife and three daughters, and them three daughters grew up right around the corner from me, like the next street over. You know what I mean? They stayed right on Euclid. One love to them, man. One love to Clifford mama, man. We used to get into it. We'd go around there to get into it with Cliff. His mama used to come out there, leave my motherfucking baby alone. She used to go off on our ass. When Cliff would be fighting, she'd be beat his ass. But yeah, me and Cliff, dog. It wasn't just me. Cliff used to get into it with everybody, man. Just like how they say that nigga granddaddy was, and he looked just like that nigga, man. Just like they say his granddaddy was back in the movies and documentaries, always fighting and getting into it with the group. And nigga, nobody know you oldest. Or that's just how the nigga grandson was, man. Clifford Ruffin, man. It started back when we was in Thurkle, man. We went to Thurkle Elementary together. And this nigga, I don't know how we would get into it, dog. We was just badass little niggas, man. Cliff just always getting into it with somebody, dog. But when it used to come to me, and I don't like nobody saying nothing too much to me, though. I take it right there off top. I remember it was meant multiple times, but I remember one time I was coming down Euclid, me and my cousin, babe, bro, coming from Thurkle, and Cliff was out there, and we caught eyes, nigga, and we said something to each other like, nigga, what's up? So Cliff stepped up, that nigga wasn't never no hoe. He was a tall, skinny nigga too, like David Ruffin. He stepped up, and then we took our coats off, and it was cold too. It was wintertime. Me and that nigga got to swinging them bitches. And I ain't gonna lie, nigga, at first, nigga, that bitch, and he was catching me with some good ass jabs. That nigga, he used to fight like a boxer. Cliff had hands on him. And that nigga was catching me with them jabs, wink, wink, wink. And I was swinging them bolos, trying to catch him with them bitches, but the bitch was fast. So he was catching me with, and I just had seen the movie Menace to Society. This was Menace to Society had came out. And I seen that nigga stump that nigga in that movie with Kane stump dog in that movie. And ever I seen that I want to stump a nigga. So me and Cliff was swinging them bitches. He was getting the best of me. I ain't gonna lie. He was winning that first, nigga. And I did went for the scoop move on his ass, on his long ass. I grabbed him up by his legs and boom, hit the ground with him. So I'm on the ground. We on the ground. I catch him with a couple of them. Bam! I stand up so I can get the stump in, but he trying to get up too. So I put my feet, like my legs, over his back, like he on his hands and knees trying to get up, and I'm like on his back, down there like a horsey ride. And so I had to get him back because he was jabbing and hooking my ass and for the beginning of the fight. So I had to get them legs back. I was punching him both sides of his face because his face was exposed trying to get up, and I had him locked in between my legs. I was on his back, and I socked him in his face a few times on both sides. Whap, 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 whap. I was whapping his ass. And then he like went down, and I got to kick him a couple times, a couple stumps in. I was missing the bitches, but I was kicking him, now, and Mama came out, get off my motherfucking son. Such they break it up, and me and Cuz left. I felt good, like yeah, we through. But Cliff, he was with it, every time, nigga. I mean, he whooped my man Anthony ass. The nigga Anthony tried it, nigga, and came off. He got Cliff two good ass jabs. Whap, whap. Man, Cliff got the punishing him on 14th. That's when that nigga mama like beat his ass. He punished my nigga Ant, but he couldn't punish me. But Cliff threw him with a lot of niggas, man. We was bad. And that's why I seen that poster upstairs. I drew it and it said DSP. I remember what it stand for. It was called, we called ourselves Duke Scandalous Players. Me, my nigga Barry, bro, my man LaDrake, my man JB, my man Squirrel was with us. We all started growing afros like Bone. That's when Bone was out. And a couple niggas out of our crew had Duke coats. Duke, the team Blue Devils. And that's why we started calling ourselves Duke Scandalous Players. We used to make up little cliques every week. But I remember one day, the Duke Scandalous Players, we on my auntie porch. She stayed on Euclid, across the street, down the street from the nigga Cliff. And Cliff badass, he walking to the gas station and shit. Cliff ain't never had no crew. He used to get into it with the whole crew. I guess because his family was popular, the Ruffins. He ain't need no crew. He had Big Smelly was his uncle. Smelly was a real nigga, get money nigga. You know what I mean? Cliff ain't had no crew, man. He used to be solo dolo, nigga, going against everybody. Clifford Ruffin. And that nigga, he would walk into the gas station and shit. And I'm like, there go Cliff, bitch ass. And we was grimming each other when he was walking past. And my Uncle Paul, I was at their house. Uncle Paul had I think that bitch a 32 or a 9 or something. But it looked like Cobra Commander gun. That bitch was sweet, like a Russian gun or something. We used to be playing with that motherfucker. And Cliff, he coming up, we could look at the gas station from my auntie porch. We was on the top porch. And I'm like, there that bitch ass nigga go. And I ran in the house. I'm like, I got something for his bitch ass. I ran and got that gun. This when I was in middle school, man. I be trying to not sound bad, but I was a bad motherfucker, man. I went and got that gun and I had it in my coat pocket and he ain't see it. We was grimming each other and that nigga was looking up at that top porch like he wanted some smoke. And I whipped that motherfucking gun. I pointed that bitch down there at that nigga like, bitch, what the fuck you looking at? That nigga, he like, oh shit, he straightened up, got up out of there. I wasn't gonna shoot that nigga though. I was only like goddamn 13 or 14 or something. I wasn't gonna shoot that nigga. But I whipped that motherfucking heater out at that nigga, pointed that bitch, that nigga like shit. But if he would have probably started grimming me and kept grimming me, I would have had to pop because Barry Bro and them out there, JB and the Barry Bro would have been like, bitch, you better pop that nigga. Yes, but good thing he walked off, you know what I mean? We was some badass niggas. And I mean, Cliff, we all the way up until we was grown. I remember this was in high school. He had a crew now. I don't know where he got these niggas from. They must was at his school because he ain't go to Northwestern with us. So I remember me and my man Bear, we was like in the 9th grade. Me and my man Big Bear across the street over my man Carlos' house. Carlos used to cut the hair and shit back in the day. Before I took off with it, Carlos was the big dog on cutting hair. And we was at Carlos' house and Bear was getting a cut. I ain't go to Carlos. All my niggas went to Carlos. I went to Mingo. Mingo was my nigga until I started going to Dane. Dane was the coldest. I got a lot of my skills from watching Dane. But anyway, we was at Carlos' house and this nigga Clifford come in with about 5, 6 niggas. And we always got into it. Every time I seen this nigga, we got into it. He come in, now he grimming us. Him and Bear done fought. Everything, you know, we in that motherfucker grim. We like, here's a nigga Cliff, it's about to be a problem. I'm like, don't worry about it, Bear, hold tight, I'll be right back. I left out because Bear was getting his hair cut. I'm like, nigga, don't worry about it. I'm like, if these niggas jumpy, we got they at. And I left up out the crib, bam, and came back. I went and found JB, all my niggas, and we came up in that bitch deep. Clipping them is in that bitch scared. We ain't fight though, because it was Carlos' house. He like, man, don't be fighting in here, dog. But we made them niggas get up out that bitch, nigga. We came back deep. Like, nigga, what's up, nigga? We just a bad. And all the way until I remember me and Cliff was 18. And Cliff was at JB house. You know, we all from the same hood. We all be friends sometimes. So Cliff was at JB house. And I come outside my house. This when I was like 18 or 19. So it was 2001. I come out the fucking house. I got a thick ass girl with me. My girl Meal. I used to be fucking with her for years, man. I took that girl virginity. I still love Meal. What's up, Meal, baby? You see this hot cornbread thick? She was like Takara off America's Top Model, nigga. But yeah, old Meal. She was over here. Kicked it with me. I think she spent the night with. I don't. But while I was walking her back to the car, and we kissed by the car and shit. She got up out of here, and I went across the street over there at JB. All my niggas out there, JB. They out there about 10 deep at JB house, and Cliff was out there. So I walk up, the nigga Cliff, we all laugh. He like, damn, fight you out. They like, you got a thick ass bitch. Cliff, the only nigga out the niggas, go say, yeah, you was over there eating that pussy. Oh man, I'm like, what, bitch? Who the fuck you talking to, nigga? You better watch your motherfucking mouth. He like, nigga, what, nigga? I said, so we get into it. This week, goddamn 19, still getting into it, nigga. I done got in his face, nigga. I'll beat your ass, nigga. And then Cliff, he started taking some type of karate lessons or something, like some MMA fighting or some shit like that. But I didn't give a fuck. He started, the nigga, in the future, he started fighting MMA tournaments and shit like that. Cliff a motherfucker, man. But I didn't care about that shit that night. I was still gonna beat his ass. I hopped out to the off the porch down on the grass, like, nigga, what's up? Come down here, nigga. I'll beat your bitch ass, nigga. What you wanna do? He was scared. Cliff got scared. I was too hype. I'm like, nigga, come on down here. He like, no, nigga, I'm doing MMA now, nigga. Or whatever the shit was called. He like, nigga, I do that now, nigga. So we gotta be some bread for me to fight. He was scared, talking about he gotta be some bread. I said, bitch, I'll beat your ass for free, nigga. I don't need no motherfucking money, nigga. Come down here. But he ain't test the water. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna lie. If he would have beat me out, cause he started it. He shouldn't have said I ate pussy. I was eating pussy. So he started that. So if he would have won, if he'd have got the best of me, I ain't gonna lie. I would have ran over here, got one of them heaters, and I would have tried to pop him. I would have tried to pop him out there, dog. So he probably knew that too. And but he ain't step out there. But that me and Clay, we done had more time encounters than the ones I said, but I don't want to make this video too long. But one time in 2009 or something like 2009, they used to throw parties at the Michigan Inn. Michigan Inn was a hotel. It had a sweet ass cabaret hall in that bitch. And my mans and them used to throw parties, all you can drink for free. It had the top shelf liquor, everything. You can get a room and a shit. We used to have the rooms in there. That hotel used to be live. And we at the Michigan Inn, everybody at that bitch. And I look across the floor, and who in that motherfucker? This nigga. Clifford Ruffin, this nigga in here, and we catch eyes in this bitch. I'm like, and he's staring at me. And I'm looking over there, I'm like, man, I'm about to have to fight this crazy motherfucker again while we grown. Yeah, he started coming towards me. I'm like, hey, it's about to be some shit. Cause I know how me and him do. And that nigga got up to me, and that nigga, he looked at me, I looked at him. That nigga put his hand up. He like, I ain't gonna lie, dog. Nigga, you made me a real nigga. And he gave me a $5, dog. We hugged each other like, damn. I'm like, man, hell yeah. I'm like, shit, yeah, we used to go at it, dog. He's like, man, you made me a real nigga, man. I ain't gonna lie, dog. But he was already a real nigga anyway. But I guess because I used to be one of his good challenges. You know what I mean? But shout out to Clifford Ruffin, man. Shout out to his family, the Ruffins, man. That David Ruffin story, that was a good documentary I just watched, man. You know what I mean? That's just another little funny story when I was young, man. I'm gonna start coming with these stories, man. All shit be all true, man. 100, man. I don't try and make myself go. I'm gonna put stories on here when I wasn't the winner. You know what I mean? I ain't win them all, baby. Shit, but I was always down with it. If a nigga want to throw, we can go for what we know, baby. Yup. But that's the end of that. One love, family.